Hi, in today's video,
We're going to answer that question. Should I do standard or should I do network? I don't know. Stay tuned. So one of our most popular questions is what?
should I do network or standard mode?
That's correct. We get the question a lot. These guys get the question so much they've even published a how-to guide. I wonder where they got the screenshots. Anyways, because it's such a confusing thing. I mean, could you pick two dumber names? Network and standard. I mean, what does it really mean? So what we thought we'd do is we'd take some time real quick, maybe not quick, but we'd take some time and discuss, should I do network or should I do standard? First, let's understand what standard is. Standard is front, rear, sub.
Okay.
And network is tweeter, mid, sub. And this is where it gets confusing.
I confused.
Me too.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. People will ask, and this is if I have a mid-range and a tweeter in the front door, I have a coaxial in the rear door, and I have a subwoofer in the trunk. Should I do network mode? And the answer is
No, sir.
that is a front rear sub. Even though you have a component up front, it's still considered a front. The easiest way to think about it is if you have a rear speaker, you're not going to be doing network mode. Network mode is made for a 3-speaker style system where you have a tweeter, you have a mid-range,
And you have saw.
that's it. So what the network mode will give you the ability to do is control the crossover points for this, so you can run 2 channels from an amplifier to the tweeter. You can run 2 channels from the amplifier to the mid-range and give it a active crossover. So instead of using the cool passive crossovers, those cool little boxes, you use the radio's internal crossover to actively cross these over. And then you have a third going to the subwoofer. That's all you're doing is these 3 things. On a standard mode, it gives you the front output. Now, in the standard mode, you're going to use the passive crossover that these come with to passively cross over the tweeter in the mid-range. Then you're going to come out of the rear RCA, go to those rear speakers in the rear deck or rear doors, and then you're going to have the third output that goes to the subwoofer. That's it. So, like I said, the easiest way, if you're doing a rear speaker, you want standard. So on the radios, when you hit that speaker mode, it comes up standard or network. Standard. 95% of the time, that's the one you want. Now, let's say you go in there and you hit network, click yes, and you go through, and then you're like, man, this sounds terrible. What do I do? Well, a lot of people will hit like the reset button or the disconnect power. That's not going to work. All the radio manufacturers have put it in the setup system, so it hardcore burns into the processor. So what you have to do is restore the radio. Now, every radio is going to have a restore feature that has a network or standard mode, and it's finding it that can be fun. Now, if it's a Pioneer, just search our the YouTube channel. We have them for all of them. We'll show you this one real quick. So you come over here, you hit the menu, go to initial, system reset, you hit enter, click yes. It's going to reset the system. Now, when this thing powers back up, the first thing it's going to ask you is, do you want to do
Standard, network mode.
You pick standard. You're good to go. Now, another way to know, wait a minute, did the installer do this? Did something goofy go wrong? Is the Bluetooth. When you have the Bluetooth hooked up and you're running the Bluetooth and you have it in standard mode, the Bluetooth will come out of the front 2 speakers. Okay? This is a common problem when people say, I can't hear, they can hear me, I can't hear them. And we'll always go, check your balance fader, fade it to the front. If you're network mode, you're not going to have balance front and rear fader. It's not going to be there. You're just going to have left and right balance. Standard mode, sound comes out of the front 2 speakers. In network mode, sound actually just comes out of the mid-range. So, which would be the rear speaker output.
Yeah.
Joy. Confusing. So, you'll get the sound out of this. So, what we've seen a lot of times in network mode is people won't hook up the mid-range. They'll hook up the front output to these. They'll hook up the sub output. And they'll be like, there's nothing hooked up to the rear output because they actually went passive on these. They didn't actually take advantage of the network modes. Yeah. So they'll be like, I get no sound on my Bluetooth. And we'll be like, check your balance and fader. If you have no front rear, you're in network mode, reset the radio, start over. Crazy, right?
It's totally confusing.
I know, we're sorry. We're not Pioneer or Alpine. We and Kenwood and all those guys that decided to do this crazy thing. They could have used better terms. We feel your pain, we really do. I mean, it wasn't like we opened the box, we're like, bam, we got this. You know, we know this because we had to figure it out the hard way just like you do. That good? Question? You got it? That cover everything? Did I forget anything? Probably.
No.
Alright, well, there again.
Alright, so thank you for watching. You guys can find us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.
If you have any questions about this, feel free to leave them in the comments below and we'll get back to you. Otherwise, please subscribe because we really enjoy it when you do. It makes him feel fuzzy. You need to shave. Okay. You guys have a great night and we'll see you later next time. Bye.